Scary Alvarez is back. I got a special one for you all this evening. I'm not a math major, but I have a very high percentage of Wisconsin's 2027 football commits on the show. Going to be a real fun one tonight. And by the looks of things, I got Cole Reiter, Korz Loken, Ethan McIntosh, the Mallinger brothers, Isaac Miller, and Dustin Roach. Welcome aboard, gentlemen.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
There's always that pregnant pause and then everyone talks at once. I love it. We're gonna hit that about 10 times tonight. I'm gonna start it off with it's a question all been asked before, I'm sure, probably in the recruiting rooms, but I want to know, and I think the fans watching want to know, why Wisconsin? You all committed to Wisconsin. Let us know in a few words what brought you to that decision to make the commitment. Cole, we'll start with you, and then we'll go clockwise.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I just felt like, every single time I went there, I knew it was home. When I went to all these other colleges, I kind of got I didn't get the same feeling when I got every time I went to Wisconsin, the home feeling, kept coming up on me. And then I kind of just pulled the trigger. I just, I felt like with the home feeling, the culture, the O-line room, and I just feel like the culture of the school in general, those were the reasons I committed. That's
a good one. We're gonna keep going here. Just by a show of hands, who here grew up as a Wisconsin Badger football fan? Awesome. I kind of figured so. McIntosh, that's a good answer, buddy. Yeah, Cole, appreciate it. Mallingers, off to you now. Let's, what kind of did it for you to become Badgers?
I guess kind of like Cole said. It's our home state school. There's nothing like it. Obviously, we grew up loving watching the Badgers. Just getting the opportunity to play for our home state school is it's like nothing else. And that was a big thing for us. And there's just this class 2027. It's a big one. Obviously, we got all these other in-state guys that it would be awesome to play with. So it was probably those two big reasons. Just playing for our home state school, and then all these other guys with us.
Okay. And I always ask, are you speaking for both of you? You can give separate answers, or is that going to be the Mallinger answer?
Oh no, we are in agreement for the same reasons. Badgers home state school, nothing like it, and then just this group of guys. It's a great group where we've been on all these visits together, and I think it's going to be a good year.
Awesome, I love it. Ethan, how about you?
Yeah, you kind of said it. I've been a Badger fan my whole life. Both my parents were student athletes at Wisconsin, so it's been a big part growing up. But I think Isaac said it really well in his Twitter post. It's the people, really. All these recruits and all the coaches and everyone involved in the program, whether it's a nutritionist to a recruiter to a coach, everyone's got the same goal, the same message, and it's really just putting Wisconsin in the place they want to be.
Love it. Hold on, I got another. Okay, just I was checking to see if one more checks in. There's always a chance that Kingston Allen might check in late. Isaac, I know you're there with Dustin, and obviously drive safely.
Yeah.
What brought you to Wisconsin?
Definitely the relationships I had with the coaches and the persisting recruitment they had for me.
And Dustin?
Same thing, just like the momentum when I went to the games, everything we were trying to do. The coaching staff, it all just really fell together.
And Korz, and we talked about 2 months ago, and your answers are probably going to be consistent. We'll try to get you some different stuff, but kind of even supplementing what you told me before. Why was Wisconsin for you?
Yeah, honestly, just piggybacking off of what everybody else said. The coaches here, amazing. The people here are amazing. All the guys in this call, and even the ones not on the call that have joined the class, it's a bunch of beautiful people who are going to work hard and push each other every single day. And that's the kind of culture you just can't beat. Putting yourself in that position to win every single day and being surrounded by guys that are going to want it just as much as you.
Love that. And by a show of hands, who got up last fall to the Washington game, the Illinois game, or both?
That was
both.
Okay. Was that y'all spinning the shirts and with the shirts off on the sidelines? Okay, yeah. that was great stuff.
Oh man,
Those are good ones. Yeah, I went to the Iowa game last year. That was maybe a little bit not quite as good a recruiting game for me, but they were not recruiting me, fortunately. Although I do have I still run a 5.840. So, the offensive line guys, specifically Cole, Ethan, Reece, and Hunter. This is for y'all. And Ethan, you can start with this one. Talk to me about Eric Matteos. I want to hear what you think about him. I had him on the show a couple weeks ago. I've been incredibly impressed with him, but how did he connect with you and the kind of stuff that he does right that made you want to play for him?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a kind of weird situation. I committed under Coach Blazik, and then a little over a month afterwards, I found out they were making the change. And really, Coach Grimes called me right away, like before the news was even announced, was talking to me about it. But really, once like as soon as I got on the phone with Coach Matteos, it was just Coach Matteos. Like it wasn't any like fancy being someone else who he isn't. Like it was straight Coach Eric Matteos, and I feel like that was really important to me that he's not trying to hide anything. Like he is who he is, and he's a great guy. And I'm very, very excited to see how he develops this offensive line. Like all these transfer guys, the guys that are still there from last year, freshmen coming in. Like I'm really excited to see how it turns out.
Yeah, and just as an observation, it said a lot to me that all the young guys, the redshirt freshmen and the freshmen, stuck around after Mateo started. I mean that's
Yeah,
everything with the portal the way it is today. I mean that must be evidence that he made an impression on those young guys too.
for sure. Yeah, I think all of us were at a junior day with them, and we were kind of talking to them at the one of the tables, and we're like you guys are on the inside of this. What's it like with Coach Matteos? And they said all good things about him. Like they couldn't stop talking about how great he was. So that was really important.
Love it, Cole. I suspect there'll be similar thoughts to what Ethan just said, but give me your elevator pitch on Coach Mateos.
Yeah, my thing, like one of the biggest things I really liked about him was he doesn't sugarcoat anything. Like when I'm talking with him and my parents, he's an awesome guy to be around. He's funny. He's got a great personality, and he doesn't sugarcoat anything, which I really like. And I like how he coaches too. Those are kind of the selling points for me. When I saw him coach, he kind of reminded me of the way, my high school football coach coaches. And he's a high intensity guy. He gives his players effort, which I think is awesome. And I just think he's an overall great coach and a great guy to be around.
Love it, Reece. What's your impression of Mateos?
I mean, not much new. I mean, I think he did his first home visit with us, and he was very straightforward with us. The minute we started talking to him, he mentioned what issues they had with the O-line room. Big thing was in-state recruiting. He like Cole said, he never sugarcoated anything. And then kind of what he said, that he's a great coach. I mean, he's got a really good track record everywhere he's been. And then he just seems like the guy engaged during practice, not like the O-line coach who just stands in the back watching everything. Like he's involved, he's pumped, he's getting excited, and he's just the coach I want to play for. Yeah, kind of to add on to that, like Reece said, he obviously has a great track record, but like at BYU, at Baylor, at Arkansas, he sent guys to the NFL. Like so he knows what he's doing in that sense. He can give people their dreams, I guess. But he also like kind of like what Reece said, he started with in-state recruiting right away. So as soon as he got to Wisconsin, a few days, like a week later, he saw Reece and me at our school, which was big for us. Since we just met him, we didn't really know what he was going to be like. So we kind of got a nice first impression there when he put the effort in to see us at school.
That's great. And while I have y'all, the Mallingers, what's it like having both of you be recruited at the same time? Just give my listeners, in it doesn't have to be a soliloquy, but just a quick hitter on what that process is like.
Obviously it's pretty special. I mean, not many people can say they played college football with their twin brothers, so I guess that's kind of cool. But just the fact that we're both O-linemen as well. Coach Matteos sees both of us playing next to each other, which is really nice. We play next to each other a bunch of times in high school. We've played them next to us. So it's gonna be nice to do that again. And I just, like I said, not many people can say they've played with their twin brothers. So I guess that's the special part.
Okay, guys, you're twins. I'm just not seeing it, but I'll believe you. To switch it around a little bit, I mean, y'all are online. I don't do the Instagram thing, but you see Twitter X, you see Instagram probably not Facebook. You're all too young for that. But, there are a lot of very critical Wisconsin fans, especially right now after last season. I mean, we all know that was the toughest schedule in the country, but still a 4-win season is highly unusual for this program given its recent history. And not that you feel, I mean, it's going to be the play on the field that's going to do the talking. And I know that's the real answer for this question. But if there is a skeptic who says, why should we believe in what's happening in 26 and what's going to happen in 27 going forward? What would you say to them to try and make them have some confidence that this ship is going to be turned around and Wisconsin is going to be back in its rightful place as one of the best teams in the Big Ten? Korz, why don't you start us off on that one?
Well, honestly, one of the biggest things that I noticed last year is we had an incredibly young team. We had a ton of injuries as well, which really didn't add to our success, obviously. But all those guys, they stuck around. They're going to have that year under their belt. They're going to know how to fight through that adversity. And, we're going to see a whole different team out there this year. We picked up some guys. We got Colton Joseph leading the offense now. This team's really – it's going to come into the season confident. It's going to come into the season firing. And I have no doubt at all in my mind that we're going to win a lot of games this year.
Isaac and Dustin there's a lot of Wisconsin Badger fan grumbling that's been going on for a while here. There's obviously some real well-earned optimism right now recently, which has felt great. I'd love to see it, and I hope to be a part of that. Kind of like Korz just did, what's your impression of sort of the early future of the program being 26 and the future of the program beyond that to let fans know that it's going to be okay?
Honestly, I'd say if they don't believe in us and they can see what we're doing right now, then I don't know what they're looking at. But I'd say just, you can see all of us are trusting each other and trusting the coaches to come this next year and really show what Wisconsin football is. And I think that's the main piece that everyone is forgetting is that we all believe in each other.
Yeah, I love that. And, Korz brought this up too, and this isn't something any have to react to, but, this is something I've noted as a podcaster and on social media. I mean, obviously, there is no other team in FBS over the past 3 years that has had the same injury situation. And I don't think this explains everything, but it is a big part of why things have not gone. Imagine Ohio State not having Justin Sand all season last year, not having their starting quarterback the previous year when they won a national title. Things would have been different. It's a fact. They're not going to be a national title team. So it impacts teams like Wisconsin who are trying to build something all the more. Cole, I'm going to ask you the same question. We just rolled with a couple other your brothers here. What do you say to a Wisconsin fan who's kind of wondering if this can be turned around?
I'm kind of gonna tag off what Isaac said. I feel like, I know you see the TVs and stuff, and you watch all this. You watch the whole season, but I mean, I feel like you had to see that turnaround towards the end of the season. We beat 2 top 25 teams at home, and then the next season you got all these in-state commits. I feel like if you're a fan, you got to know, man, these recruits aren't committing here for just no reason. They trust the coaching staff, they trust the process, and they trust the culture that we're building here. So I just feel like if you're a Wisconsin fan, you should be excited. We beat 2 top 25 teams at the end of our season. Now we're going into a big season with an awesome class, awesome coaching staff, and you're getting a bunch of in-state recruits committed. I feel like, I'd be a little bit excited if I was a Wisconsin fan.
Well, I definitely – I'll speak for myself, and I can see how other people are. People are excited. I mean, there's a little bit of wariness there. That's just human nature, and I think that's understandable. But I'm excited, and, I don't think I'm telling anything here that's a mystery. Every single one of y'all that's on this podcast has really impressive other options that you could have committed to. This is not, this was a last chance you thing. You guys are top players. And so that speaks even more loudly as to why you would pick Wisconsin. And I understand you got a couple of recruiters on the staff here in Korz and Cole and Ethan, and you guys are doing it too. All of y'all are going to be committing, but I think that's part of it. And just by the way, I'm not going to go to every single one of you at every single question. I'm going to kind of jump around a little bit because I know you guys I'm sure you have homework to do and all that good stuff tonight. So we'll keep moving. What is the best memory of your recruitment at Wisconsin so far, Ethan?
I'd have to say the Washington game that I committed at. I mean, it was really cool. My mom, and my dad were there at the pregame when they were telling Coach Fick that I committed, and then just being with the fellas in the section, taking off our shirts, and it's snowing, and like jump around comes on, and then everything that happened in the game to the Mason Post sack at the end, storming the field, like going in that locker room afterwards it was crazy. It's definitely a day or a night I'm never going to forget.
It looked a lot of fun. I wasn't actually at either one of those games, I'll admit, and it would have been a crime against humanity for me to have taken my shirt off and waved it around. But I was still excited watching it. Something felt different, like a switch flipped. That is kind of how it felt to me as a Wisconsin fan. And I understand things didn't go the way people wanted it to in Minnesota, but the trajectory of the program indisputably was heading on the upswing there later in the season. Reece, what's your big lingering thought of your recruitment so far? The moment that kind of stands out as the most fun?
I don't know. There's so many. I feel like there's a lot of like I said, there's a lot of things that go into it, but I would just say like all the visits we've taken. I mean, every single one we've learned new stuff, we've seen new stuff, and I think each one kind of contributed to our commitment. And I mean, I hold each one to in a special spot.
Hey, Dustin, are you with us?
He is not, but I can get him real quick.
Okay, hey, whatever works for you, man. It's cool. Let's see what his 4.40 is to get on the Elbrush show. Get it for a second. I'm gonna go to Cole here. Cole, same question. In your recruiting, biggest moment.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of really want to say, what Ethan said, but I mean, I don't want to say the same answer, but I love the games when we stormed the field. But one of my other favorite times was kind of, at one of my first spring practices, I was there where my, former teammate, Cooper Catalano, he had a crazy interception. And after the practice, him and all his roommates, his offensive line roommates walked up to me and they kind of made me feel like family almost. They were telling me that they wanted me to commit there. And kind of that day kind of started my, I feel like I'm going to come here. This is my home. And I just feel like kind of ever since then, I've always gotten that feeling, the people and all that. But I feel like I love the game where we stormed the field too. That's probably one of my top ones, but I really like that spring practice too.
Yeah, and just as an aside, the storming the field thing, this is really apropos of nothing in the questions I've asked you, but I've been a little bit of a battler on the socials when the old grumbly fans are saying, we're Wisconsin, we don't storm the field. I'm like, you're a 3 or 2 win team who is on the way up, but haven't had many top 25 wins in the last few years. And you've got a stadium full of fans who have been victory starved and looking for something. You damn right you storm the field. I was so excited to see not only all his recruits, but the students who are the ones who are the real ones. We're going to all the games, and the 60-year-old fans who've been waiting for a ranked win for 4 years. That is just an incredibly happy part of it. And yeah, great. So in 2028, we're a ranked team and they beat another ranked team, and maybe people don't storm the field then, and that's okay. But I just never quite understood that. I think you pay the money and you spend the time as fans and as recruits and as players. I think having those moments of joy is a big part of the experience. So I'm obviously y'all agree with me because you're on the field like that, but I never understood that. But anyway, that's just an aside. I want y'all going to go in clockwise order here. I'm going to start with Korz Loken on this one. Name the guy in the team, and you're going to take someone else's answer, but the guy in the team in your recruitment that you've bonded the most with, he's like an older brother now.
Emmett Bork has definitely shown me like the most love. I mean, I've been around the tight end room a ton, and every time I see him, he daps me up. Every time I see him, he makes sure I'm involved in stuff, and I really appreciated that. I feel like he's gone so far out of his way to help me, feel like family, feel like Madison's home, and I'm excited to get to work and be able to be in that same tight end room with him every day and just grind our asses off together.
Let's go to Ethan.
Yeah, I'd have to say Hardy Watts, one of the freshman linemen. I mean, at all the practices and the camps I went to over the summer, like he just treated me like a teammate already. Like there was no like awkward, like, oh, this is Ethan. Like he dapped me up right away and he started making jokes with me and like just really been hearty from the get go. Like he's been the guy that he is.
Love it. Reese and Hunter. Who are the and I guess it could be the same person, but who are the guys you've connected with on the team?
I mean, I would probably say Roski. I mean, we've probably talked to him the most, on the bus ride to the hockey game, and he, like, kind of Ethan brought it up earlier. I mean, he sat with us during one of our junior days, I think, and him and Logan Powell, and I think we just connected the most with Roski. It's been nice to talk to him. So
He's the Wisconsin kid.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when you talk about the Packers, maybe like an apocalyptic last game of the season against the Bears, he could be a guy who could lend an ear and saying, hey, maybe you don't let Caleb Williams come back on you like that.
Yeah.
Sorry, too soon. So I got PTSD about that. Cole, who have you connected with on the current team?
Logan Powell, I feel like is the dude, and I mean my former teammate Cooper. I'm obviously really close with. Who's on the Badgers, but yeah, I feel like for lineman room, Logan Powell. I went up on to a 2-day junior day with Ethan and then another line recruit and Logan Powell. I had a fish fry with him. I really got to know him, and I feel like ever since he's always made an effort to walk up to me, talk to me. After practice, after games, I just feel like that shows a lot, and he's probably the dude that I've built the biggest relationship with. I've also built a relationship with Roski, kind of like the twins, but yeah, I feel like those two dudes are very high character, good people.
Love it. And Isaac and/or Dustin, are you there?
Yes.
Hey.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm on vacation right now.
Hey, where are you? Where's the vacation?
I'm in Florida.
Oh, wait. You and Isaac are both Isaac's in Florida and you're Isaac, but Dustin's in Florida with you?
Yeah, he took me.
Oh, great. Where in Florida?
Destin.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you're doing some recruiting down there.
Not really.
Okay.
Florida,
who have you connected with on the current team?
Yeah. So I mean, he's gone now, but Mason Reiger, he'd definitely be the guy because I met him when he was still injured, and he was a very down to earth guy, and he stayed like that the whole time, even when he started blowing up. And I just thought that was very great to see from a player, and it was very important for him to, stay in contact with me, and I can, DM him whenever I want. He'll hit me up, and then even on the day I committed, he was walking out. I saw him just for a quick second, and I said, "What up?" He said, "What up?" It was just a quick interaction. I just think those type of interactions are very meaningful to me, and so I'll say another player, Tyrese Fearby. I don't know his last name, but I met him a while ago. He was the same thing, like very down to earth, and tell me all great things about Coach Mitch. And I just thought all of the players at Wisconsin are just great people and very respectable men.
That's great. And that's, as you all know, hopefully you'll come in and grow as a class together. But in the portal era, just the way things are, I don't think I'm telling you anything you don't know. That continuity is just so difficult. That feeling of family is so difficult. So it's really heartening to hear so many of you saying the same thing about your experiences in your recruiting with these guys. And by the way, Mason Reiger, I don't think it's going to be news to anyone here. That guy's going to be a good pro. Someone's going to get a steal in the draft. If even they get him in the third, that guy's legitimate first-round talent, in my opinion.
For sure.
Okay, we're going to wrap it up here pretty quick. I got spring breaking / recruiting to do for Isaac and Dustin. You all have homework, I'm sure, to do, but I'm going to go around one more time to everyone, and we're going to move ahead to 2028, a couple of years from now. I'm going to have you each complete this sentence for me. I'm going to start with you, Cole. In 2028, Wisconsin football will be what?
Playoff contender.
Man, I love that. Love it. Korz, and again, I know he took the coolest answer, obviously, but there could be some other version of that. But Korz, same question to you. In 2028, the Wisconsin Badgers are going to be what?
A hard fighting team.
Very good. Isaac, 2028, Wisconsin Badgers are going to be fill in the blank.
Back.
Love it. One word, one syllable, and dead on. Reece, Hunter, you can have different answers on this. In 2028, Wisconsin football is going to be what?
Blue collar.
Is that for both of you?
Yeah.
Okay. If one of you said blue, the other one said collar, it would have been even cooler. And finally, Ethan, in 2028, Wisconsin Badger football is going to be what?
Setting the example.
I love that, and I want you to expand on that just a little bit, because I know that can mean a lot of different disparate things. But what do you mean by that?
I feel like we're going to be doing things like the right way, doing things like the way that Coach Fick wants it to be doing, like bringing the culture up and getting that tough team that's going to be fighting for national championships, that's going to be gritty, that's going to be doing everything they can to be in that leadership role in the era that college football is today.
That's great, and I'm really excited to see y'all obviously have good, successful, and healthy senior years this upcoming fall. But super excited to get y'all on campus in 2027. I know you're all busy and really appreciate all the time that you've given tonight. And I'm Wisconsin, guys. This is a class. I mean, just as a podcaster and as someone who does social media, obviously I weigh in on recruiting. It's always something. That's a valid subject matter for me. But this is, I don't think there's any question about it, and I'm not sure how close it is. The most excited I've been about a recruiting class, especially this early in the cycle. So I really say good luck to everyone. Thanks so much for coming on, and best of luck with everything in the future. Hope to catch up with each of you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.